Hello, today's lesson is 16-2. It's called Length and Line Plots. You know how to measure lengths to the nearest inch, half inch, and quarter inch. That's what they're showing here. Today you'll learn how to make a line plot to organize and represent lengths measured to the nearest half and quarter inch. We reviewed a term from our fractions unit. What is a mixed number? A lot of students had forgotten since our fraction unit, so we looked at some examples. A mixed number has a whole number part and a fraction part. Examples of mixed numbers are 5 1/2, 2 3/4, 7 1/4. What can you do to organize these numbers? We can put them in order from least to greatest. If we were going to put these in order, we'd start with 2 3/4. Then we do 5 1/2, then we do 7 1/4. That's what they've done here, is they've organized the mixed numbers from least to greatest. On this number line, the very smallest mixed number that's shown is 4 1/2, and the very biggest number I see is 6. We practice by putting these numbers in order from least to greatest, so pause the video to do that yourself. There they are, least to greatest. A shoemaker wants to know the length to the nearest half inch of kids' feet. What information could our class send? Well, we could send the shoemaker the length of our feet. We took off our shoes today and measured the length of our feet. We measured it to the nearest half inch. And then we shared what our lengths were. We talked about those lengths. Are the lengths spread out evenly, or is there one length that is the most common? Turns out most students in 3rd grade have feet that are either 8 inches long or 8 1/2 inches long. How could you organize the information on the chart to answer these questions? You could write a number line and turn it into a line plot to organize those lengths. So the first thing you have to do when you make a line plot is think about what the scale is. Where do we begin on the number line? Where do we end on the number line? We don't want to have all numbers on the number line. So we need to look at the numbers we're using. In this case, we're looking at the lengths of our feet, and find the smallest number. We also need to find the biggest number. That lets us know where to start and where to end. On this line plot with the length of our feet, why do we need to use mixed numbers? Well, since we were measuring to the nearest half inch, we needed to use mixed numbers for students whose feet were a length of a mixed number, 7 1/2, 8 1/2, that sort of thing. We talked about this already, the lengths that occur most often and least often, and how they tended to be around certain numbers, like 8 was a very popular foot length. We practiced again with this, so pause the video to draw a line plot for this data, and then I'll show you the answer on the next slide. Here's what your line plot should look like. You could start at 3 1/4, and you could end at 6 3/4, or you could go bigger, smaller like they did to make it easier. But that's what it should look like. What does the line plot tell you about Sandy's pencils? We had lots of things it told us. Some people pointed out that her pencils tended to be about 3 inches or 6 inches. Some people pointed out that most of her pencils were about 6 inches, but some were smaller. Some people pointed out that Sandy didn't have any pencils as long as 7 inches, or any pencils shorter than 3 1/4 inches. And that was it for today.